Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Lori Scott, your Close to My Heart maker, with a layout to share with you. For my layout, I used the Flower Shop paper pack from Close to My Heart and a sketch from the Facebook group called Scrap a Sketch. Here's the sketch that I chose, and I chose it because I was drawn to the circle and the banners, which are two of my favorite design pieces. I like how they used the flower garland going down the right side of the page, but I just couldn't make it work with my small photo. It just was too busy on my page. So instead, I used small clusters of flowers around my photos and put the journaling in the spot where the flowers would have gone. This photo tells the story of me at the age of 13 in 1973. Yep. That's me in the bright pink dress alongside my brother, aunt, and sisters. The colors in clothing back then were really bright, just like the dress I'm wearing. I wanted to document how my mom used to sew for me. When I chose this photo, I knew the perfect paper for the layout. If you notice, my dress matches the paper. It's funny how colors in fashion come back around. Although I haven't seen any mini dresses with hot pink smocks over them lately, but you never know. But back then, this dress was really cute, and a lot of junior high and high school girls wore something like it. My sister's wearing a cute dress that my mom made too, and she has yarn ribbons in her hair that were popular at the time. My aunt was always so fashionable. She would fly up to see us from Southern California and always dressed nice on the plane. Those were the days when flying was a luxury. Not everybody could afford to fly, so people would dress up. And the seats were comfortable too. We always liked when she came to see us. My sister and I loved her so much. So back to my layout. I used the large floral paper as my background. I did that because large patterns can be difficult to work with because they tend to compete with your photo and embellishment. So I like to use them as a background and then put a piece of cardstock on top of that. For my circle, I used a We Are Memory Keeper circle cutter. Here, I'll show it to you. It looks like this. And I cut it at 8 inches. If you don't have something to cut a circle with, use a salad plate. Or if you have a Cricut, you can use that too. I cut the two banner pieces at 2.5 by 9 and 2.5 by 8. The white daisy piece of cardstock is cut at 11 by 11, and the raspberry piece is cut at 11 1/4 by 11 1/4. I gutted the back of this floral piece, and with the leftover piece, I fussy cut these flowers out and pop-dotted them up. I cut some little sprigs out of green cardstock to give a little extra color to my page. And I use these butterflies and this little sprig from It's the Little Things embellishments. I have a 4-inch photo, and it's backed in sapphire and ballerina cardstock. I cut my title on the Cricut and used a font from a website called Dafont, D-A-F-O-N-T. And the font is called Kathen, K-A-T-H-E-N. I will link it in the description. Lastly, I added splatters the easy way by using a background stamp set called Background and Element Stamp Set. Here, let me show it to you. I used this piece and I used this piece. I took raspberry ink and I used first and second generation stamping. This is the first and the lighter is the second. To do the first and second generation stamping, what you do is the first one is you ink up your stamp and then stamp directly onto your project. For second generation, you ink up that same stamp and you stamp it off on a scratch piece of paper and then stamp directly on top of your project. As you can see, I have two different types on here, but I did, on the splatter pieces, I wanted them to be a little darker. So I did use the first generation, and then the splatter pieces, I didn't want it so bright. So I used the second generation on that. So let me see. Well, let's see. Next, I finished it off with Bitty Sparkles, colored with a tri-blend marker. And lastly, my journaling says, "This is me in the bright pink smock dress with my brother, aunt, and sister. I loved this dress. My mom made it for me. We used to go to the fabric store and pick out patterns and fabric, and she would make something for me. I had the cutest dresses." Well, folks, thank you for watching. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I will list everything I used in the description. And I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. I have a contest going right now through the end of February. And if you subscribe to my channel, you have the chance to win an adorable Easter stamp set. I have it in the post before this one. Thank you and have a great day.